Okay, one day Thomas was on a small hill. He had 6 small wheels, a short funnel, a short boiler, and a short dome. He always loved to puff up hills, until one day he saw something new. He saw a giant weasel jumping into the air. "Whoa!" cried Thomas. Thomas's driver was concerned. "It's best leave. Let's leave before the weasel will jump on us." So Thomas and his driver backed away. The next morning, Thomas saw the weasel. He had to push an important goods train to the yards. The train was heavy, very heavy. But Thomas was very tired. He was almost out of coal. But then it was too late. Thomas slowed to a stop. "Bother," he said. "Now I won't push this train." Just then, something big, blue, and orange drifted straight towards them. "It's the weasel!" cried Thomas's driver. "Ah!" cried Thomas. The weasel ran all over Thomas. Now Thomas was very scared. The weasel was on top of him, and Thomas was stuck. Bertie towed Thomas away from the weasel. "Ah!" cried Thomas. Thomas now had lots of coal from Hector, and Thomas was ready and he could go again. He's pushed the goods train to the yards. Next, Thomas had to take a family on a little trip. Thomas took a caboose instead. Now, Thomas was very tired. There was a caboose at the top of the hill. So Thomas had to save the caboose. But was no use. So Thomas had to save the caboose. Thomas pulled and pulled, but it was no use. The coupling was old. The coupling snapped. The caboose ran into Toad. Thomas took him back up again. This time he had to take Toad. Now this time it was heavier than ever. Thomas pulled and pulled and pulled with all his might. He reached the top of the hill for a cool ride. Thomas was at the edge of a small ride. Thomas turned and bumped right into Annie. "Whoa!" he said. Now, Thomas saw the weasel, but this time the weasel had a special prize for him. The weasel gave him the ball. "Wow," said Thomas, "that weasel is very nice." "It is," said Thomas, his driver, and that's all ever after. The end.